Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, June 9th. I'm Jason Stanton. This is my morning musing. And I was gifted recently with a book, The Anthropocene Reviewed. And apparently it's and I'm a podcast guy. I'd never heard of this podcast before, but it's really just a book version of a number of different podcasts. The podcast has the same name, The Anthropocene Reviewed. And I think I've seen this word Anthropocene before, but I needed help understanding what it is. Maybe you do too. Anthropocene is the current geological age in which human activity has profoundly shaped the planet and its biodiversity. On the Anthropocene Reviewed, John Green, best-selling author of The Fault in Our Stars and Turtles All the Way Down, reviews different facets of the human-centered planet on a 5-star scale. So he'll take something human, could be Disney World, could be Diet Dr. Pepper, could be Canada geese. He takes something that is that says something about humans and then reviews it on a 5-star scale. So, like, for example, I remember 20 years ago actually debating with a very close friend of mine whether climate change had anything to do with people. The science had been coming out for some time. I mean, really since the 70s and even before. People had really been coming to grips, really for the last 50 years, about how human activity is changing our climate. Global warming is probably not the best way to describe the whole effect of what's happening, but climate change has, I think that's become the more agreed upon phrase to capture everything that's going on. And so I remember having this disagreement with this really close friend about his argument was, how can we're just a few people, even if we are in the billions, it's just people. How can we have that level of effect on the whole planet? It's just, and he just dismissed it, which I think is pretty wishful thinking on all our part. Like, it's just me and a few, I live in a town of 17,000. I see big cities, but there's so much land in between, and there's so much undiscovered or uncultivated land in the world, and the oceans are so giant, and how the scale of things for humans to have that much of an effect on the whole earth, it is hard for us to really understand how our habits are affecting the climate. So anyway, this episode, this chapter in my book, because I was reading it, not listening to it, it helped kind of put words and understanding to how this Anthropocene age works and how climate change gets affected by people. And the example is Canada geese. Canada geese is such a good example because, there was a time when Canada geese were almost went extinct. But with the cultivation of lawns and the ways that, Canada geese thrive off of manicured grasses and basically the suburban landscape that has, ballooned over the last 70 years especially, that has coincided with the Canada goose explosion. Have you ever been attacked by a Canada goose? I think all of us have, either ourselves or know somebody that was just walking along next to a pond or something, and it just comes at you, and they're aggressive. Anyway, as a part of this Canada Goose Reviewed podcast, John Green says, it's John Green, right? John Green says, for better or worse, land has become ours, humans. It is ours to cultivate, to shape even, ours to protect. We are so much the dominant creature on this planet that we essentially decide which species live and which die. Which grow, like the Canada goose, and which decline like its cousin, the spoon-billed sandpiper. Since Columbus, we've changed the temperature of the planet and reshaped its biosphere on a scale not seen in millions of years. Our species is shaping every aspect of life on Earth. But as an individual, I don't feel that power. I can't decide whether a species lives or dies. I can't even get my kids to eat breakfast. And that's the quandary. No one of us feels powerful enough or responsible enough for these big climate changing behaviors and habits. And yet together, we are responsible for all these changes that are affecting the earth in ways that we can't really even grasp yet. So that's what I've been noodling about, is musing on. And I also, this idea that we somehow help decide which species grow and which ones decline, that really affected me as well. As we live in a part of the country where eagles used to be so rare, but we like the way an eagle looks, and so we worked really hard to save them, and so now there are many eagles. I mean, we see our power right in front of us as a mountain of garbage gets cultivated on the east side of town. I mean, it's pretty amazing how much power and ability we have to make choices like these. So anyway, when I think of Genesis 1 and God putting us as stewards over this creation of God's, these are the kinds of things that I try to remember to humble myself and also seek to advocate for our beautiful planet. Keep faith alive.